be normal people? All this attention is so hard. Isn't it true, sir, that your questionable wife has her own TV show and hangs out with celebrities and does fashion magazines? What are you suggesting?
Look at my bees, and here I am collecting fruit for the jam.
She wants us to listen to her like she's a founder because she took all that money and launched her stupid-ass lifestyle brand with jam.
You can't get to be a billionaire selling pots of jam. All she does now with her jams that are crap is post pictures of her children left, right, and center, which has me always thinking, well, hold on a second, you duplicitous woman, how does that make any sense?
If Meghan wants to clean up her act, she's got some serious work to do, and not the kind with jam jars and mood boards.
This woman is a born manipulator. The Netflix thing, she doesn't do the work. She don't make the jams. It's all made for her.
And after the comedy of errors that was American Riviera Orchard and the ongoing chaos of Manic Meg's scam jam car crash as ever, perhaps caution is called for here.
Meghan Markle shown by South Park as a Duchess-turned-jam seller trying to fund a luxury life, whispering to blueberries and selling fairy tales in jars. The joke hits hard, showing her squeezing the last drop of royal shine for cash. And this was only the start, because the next disaster went even further.
I don't care. Don't care. What the hell? What did he just say? He victimized me. It's because I'm an ethnic woman. He can't do that. I'll say, wait, you're ethnic? This is an outrage.
He's going to have to, old Meghan, sell 2.5 million pots of jam over the next year to make 15 million.
Her imposter syndrome is adorable. I don't know who she's trying to convince. I'm probably us, since we talk about it pretty regular.
South Park shows Meghan needing millions of jam jars a year just to keep up her lifestyle, calling it the jam hustle of the century, a fairy tale business dressed as reality.
There is growing concern about the fact that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are now living well beyond their means, not being able to rake in those big money deals. And
we spent so much time making sure we had so much more inventory. That's why we took the time, and you guys are doing it again. We're nearly sold out on everything, and I can't believe it. Even flower sprinkles, which I knew was going to be the big one again. So that has more inventory than all of it. And that's also about to sell out. So I was looking at my iMessage and I thought, okay, I love this feature and I never thought of it. Like, is it confetti or is it flower sprinkles? Thanks, everybody.
South Park roasted Meghan for hyping her jam, but barely selling 1,000 jars, calling it a royal bake sale that made her empire look like a joke.
I couldn't brand myself independently and live off taxpayer money. It felt like quite a big violation. I essentially had to be forever beholden to taxpayer, whoever he is.
It's not a financial thing. Working royals do not profit. They do not use their names to make money. It's an honor to have an HRH.
Absolutely.
So the fact that she's continued to use this HRH when they've been instructed not to, I think is absolutely infuriating in Buckingham Palace. It was agreed with Queen Elizabeth that they will not use the HRH title. That is a long-standing precedent, and there's good reason for it. Basically, the HRH is only given to working royals and senior members of the royal family.
South Park showed Meghan living in Montecito, like royal cosplay with silk robes and fancy staff while pretending jam. Money pays the bills. But in reality, the mansion taxes, guards, and staff cost millions, making the jam hustle look like a total joke.
He fears that if Archie and Lilibet retain their HRH titles, their parents, their venal parents, will cash in on that.
If you're only releasing 10 jars of loose fruit every 2 months, it's gonna get so hard.
South Park made Meghan look totally out of touch with staff like chefs picking oranges from faraway markets, nannies with fancy certificates, and gardeners pampering roses while she tips housekeepers with candles instead of money, showing her floating through scented halls sipping tea while pretending jam jars can pay for it all.
It takes a little bit of courage to bet on yourself, and that's felt really good.
oh yes, my proudest decision has been pumping all of my husband's inheritance money into my flop business. I found that hilarious.
If you buy it direct from them, it's like $4. So she's ripping people off. He puts 5 pots of jam on sale and goes, "We've sold out! We've sold out!"
South Park dragged Meghan by calling her overpriced products the Duchess Deluxe effect, showing how a $12 tea costs $4 and a $14 cookie mix barely $3 at a store. Then mocking it with fake ads selling royal dust for $50. The punchline is clear, people aren't buying tea, they're buying a fantasy of royalty. And once shoppers realize it's just pantry props with glittery branding, the backlash hits fast, turning her luxe wellness vibe into nothing but royal sticker shocks.
Horrible spy who lives across the street from us, and we're gonna get him back by changing our brand.
Is this you? Sorority girl, actress, influencer, victim.
Yeah, that's totally me.
Okay, I see. And then you added your husband to your friends and family account. You must be the royal prince, millionaire, world traveler, victim.
That's right.
Sir, your millions from Netflix for no one knows what.
Put it with the rest of them.
South Park showed that even if Meghan tricks buyers into paying luxury prices, jam spoils in months. And once it expires, it piles back at her door with Harry stacking crates into a bunker. Every return eats her tiny profit and stores hate expired stock, turning her empire into a gamble that looks more like a fruit graveyard than a business. Making it clear this is not a royal empire, but a race against mold and math.
And his wife moved in across the street from me. They had this huge jet parked in front of my house, and then they kept trying to get me to buy their stupid book.
Why are we so mad today? Because we want our private day.
William is reportedly formulating a plan to finally strip Prince Harry and Meghan Markle of their HRH title.
South Park showed that Meghan turned her jam into a royal scandal by slapping her Archie and Lily on the ribbons. Even though she and Harry agreed not to use those titles for profit in the parody, William nearly explodes at the palace while sipping tea, and the crown sees it as the perfect excuse to step in, making the jam look less like luxury and more like a tacky souvenir of chaos, one ribbon that snapped the crown's patience and sparked an even bigger mess.
Hi! Hey, you! Hi! What are you looking at? You ever heard of privacy?
What?
What is she talking about? What is that all about? Flower sprinkles? They're not gonna sell out unless you're only selling 7 sprinkles.
South Park went all in on Archewell, and the way they showed it was brutal, but also strangely on point. They painted the nonprofit as a corporate horror show, where the office looked like a haunted house with flickering lights crying in turns and jam jars literally oozing out of filing cabinets as if the whole place was melting from the inside out. The satire didn't stop there. They dragged Spotify for pulling the plug and flat out calling the deal a flop. Then they roasted Netflix for cutting budgets in the middle of contracts, like even the streaming giant had lost patience with the royal drama. But the most savage part was how they portrayed Meghan and Harry's PR nightmare. Every few months, a new shiny firm would walk in and promise to save the brand, only to quit a few weeks later with a massive bill and a stress rash. South Park exaggerated this with a skit called the Sussex Survivors Club, where former staff sit in a circle clutching jam jars like battle trophies, swapping horror stories about working under the Archewell chaos. It was dark, funny, and way too close to the rumors. We've all heard the message was clear. Archewell wasn't a beacon of legacy, it was a sinking ship leaking cash faster than jam from a cracked jar, and the cartoon twisted the knife by making it obvious. No matter how many glossy rebrands they try, no amount of fancy ribbons or hashtags can cover up a financial mess. That's this loud.
I think she's lost in her own world. Look at my bees, and here I am collecting fruit for the jam.
It seriously is driving me crazy. The prince plays drums all day. I don't even think he has a job. And I don't know what the hell she does. Why they even left Canada is beyond me. And like, she seems to just boss him around and make him do whatever she wants. I mean, why did they even leave Canada and move to South Park anyway?
Buckle up, because this is where the satire cuts even sharper. South Park shows the IRS swooping down on Archewell, like detectives at a crime scene with agents holding magnifying glasses, unpaid invoices, and jars of jam as if they were evidence on the table. The joke is hilarious, but the undertone is brutal, because in real life, the line between Meghan's for-profit hustle and the non-profit world has always looked a little blurry, and financial experts have warned that if those overpriced tease jams and lifestyle products were ever funneled through the charity without clean separation, then things could spiral fast in the parody. Harry is sweating over piles of tax forms, fumbling with calculators, while Meghan floats in insisting it's all part of a healing journey. But behind the laugh, there's a real risk, because an audit means every email, Slack chat, and branding note could be pulled into discovery. And that kind of exposure could blow the doors off the whole operation. One wrong number and fines start snowballing, and let's be real. A $6 jam margin isn't going to cover legal firestorms, the episode makes the chaos funny with visuals, but the truth behind it is far more terrifying, because even the mere shadow of dodgy accounting can send donors fleeing and turn a lifestyle brand into a courtroom liability.
Let alone, can you? Oh my god, he's so obsessed with us! No more magazines and Netflix shows. We really can live a normal life. What matters is what we have on the inside. Hello?
Imagine this fallout spinning out of control. Meghan tries to pitch cookie mix like it's gold dust, but the public wasn't having it. In the UK, monarchists who never cared much suddenly pass around memes comparing her $14 jam to grandma's chunky marmalade that costs pennies, and the jokes cut deep. South Park pushes it further, with fake daytime talk shows where hosts taste her products, spit them out, and dramatically gag across. The Pond late-night comedians roast her sprinkles and pantry fluff, while American shoppers flood social media with refund jokes and jam jar memes. The show paints it as a digital wildfire, where influencers who once hyped her now drag her for clout. Even sponsors begin to ghost her one beauty brand, suddenly rethinking the partnership after engagement tanks in an economy. This shaky her glossy product parade feels not just overpriced, but insulting and tone-deaf, and as the public laughter fades, so does her brand glow, but the harshest blow wasn't from memes or markets. It was waiting inside the palace walls.
We just kind of don't care about some dumb prince and his stupid wife. I don't care about them either. So then why do you talk about them all the time? I'm sick of hearing about them, but I can't get away from them. They're everywhere, in my face.
Yeah, now you're putting them in our face.
Fine, I won't talk about them anymore. Thank you. Okay, just one last thing. Did you know the prince? I'm sorry.
This is where the chaos blows wide open. South Park doesn't just tease royal backlash, it stages it like a thriller with Prince. William in a palace war room flipping open a folder stamped status clarification, while stern advisors watch, and the rumor swirling that he is one pen stroke away from stripping Archie and Lily of their HR titles. South Park cranks it up, showing Meghan staring in horror as her ribbon branding unravels in slow motion, and a royal decree splashes across every screen in Montecito. And this twist isn't just about fancy titles, it's about trademarks. It's about the last thread of royalty they cling to if William signs the papers. Every HR-branded jam jar instantly turns toxic retailers, yank shelves, clean sponsors bolt, and suddenly the Duchess Deluxe empire looks like royal contraband. The parody lands like a punch because it feels scarily close to real life, the meltdown behind the scenes, not just dramatic but devastating.
County Police Station, what's your emergency?
Yeah, the neighbors across the street are setting off fireworks and it's 10:30 at night.
Oh, is it Prince of Canada and his wife who just want to be left alone?
We are here because privacy is a basic human right. How many more princes and his wives have to live in this nightmare? Hey, you ever heard of a thing called privacy?
Yeah, nobody gives a shit. Will you two just shut up and go away?
The chaos just hit rock bottom because once the real numbers came out, the whole shiny dream fell apart. South Park shows investors freaking when they hear the jam money only pays for 1 week of payroll. People leave Zoom calls, suppliers demand deposits, staff get severance letters, and Harry is out there taping flyers for polo sponsors while Meghan waves Pinterest boards like it will save the empire. It gets crazier with kombucha taps swapped for cardboard boxes, chefs gone with the last olive oil, and new recipes frozen mid-mix, and then the big punchline South Park ends with a royal jam yard sale. Meghan at the gates of Montecito selling off. The lavender spa wing. The wine cave. The rose maze turned into a selfie garden while Harry scribbles his next memoir called Spare Change. And Meghan pitches a new podcast, Crumbs of Resilience. The parody stings because the sparkle looks fake now. And the whole brand feels like it is crumbling right in front of everyone.